This meeting is being recorded.
All right, good evening, everybody. It is Sunday, August 10th at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. This is Stephen Akela, Chairman of the Libertarian National Committee. We're going to go ahead and call this special meeting to order. Mr. McMahon, whenever you're ready for roll call.
Okay, Mr. Bowler.
Present.
Mr. Bost.
Present.
Mr. Chatterton. Mr. Chatterton. Mr. Wiley.
Present.
Mr. Dar, Vice Chair Dar.
Here.
Mr. Dassing. Mr. Dassing. Mr. Bracco. Mr. Bracco. Mr. Ford. Mr. Ford. Mr. Weir. Mr. Weir. Ms. Hayes. Ms. Hayes. Ms. Hollisey. Ms. Hollisey.
We have a Texas Democrat situation.
Mr. Nebel.
Present.
Is it Nebel or Nebel?
Nebel.
Nebel, okay.
Yep.
Mr. Lamb. Mr. Lamb. Mr. Martin.
Wet, but present.
Mr. McGee.
Present.
Mr. Johnson.
Here.
I am present. There's Meredith Hayes. Mr. Nana. Mr. Nana. Mr. Hirsch. Mr. Hirsch. Treasurer Redpath.
I'm here.
Mr. Thompson.
I'm here.
Ms. Cowhart.
Present.
Mr. Vinson. Mr. Vinson. Mr. Watkins. Mr. Watkins. Chair Nikela.
Present.
Ms. Hayes.
Here.
We have, we did math here, 11 present, Mr. Chair.
11 present.
11 present voting members.
All right, 11 present voting, then I believe we have quorum.
Oh, Mr. Chatterton just came into the room as well.
Oh, here we go.
Doesn't change the number.
Got it. All right, so we have quorum. We're now going to continue on for an opportunity for public comment. 2 minutes from the gallery each, 10 minutes total. Is there any member of the gallery that is seeking to be recognized? Mr. Bargainquast, you're recognized.
Hey guys, Tyler Barnquist here from Louisiana. I just want to reiterate, I think that we should have open comments on these kind of interactions and going forward, especially live meetings in person. That's all I wanted to say. Thank you, Chair. Appreciate it.
Thank you, sir. Is there anyone else seeking to be recognized for public comment at this time? Going once, going twice, going 3 times. Hearing none, we're going to go ahead and close public comment, and we'll now move to the adoption of the agenda. The chair will now recognize a motion to adopt.
So moved.
Mr. Chair, I have my hand
Yes.
up and I'm moving to amend the agenda.
All right, it is, well, do we have a second to adopt the agenda first?
I would defer to Mr. I would defer to
Okay, all right, Mr. Redpath, recognized, sir.
Yes, I would move to amend the agenda to make 3A where we go into the executive session to move New Mexico ballot access up to be included as, for there to be two topics: New Mexico ballot access, possible litigation, and also LNC matters with the Federal Election Commission, to make that both part of 3A in executive session.
And will that be with Mr. Oliver?
Mr. Hall.
He has, I mean, I'm sorry, Mr. Hall, excuse me.
Yes, absolutely. I'd like him to be in both.
All right. Hey, all right, there was a motion to amend the agenda. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion's been moved and seconded. Is there any discussion on this matter? Mr. Redpath, would you like to speak to it?
I just think it would be best to have one executive session. I know Mr. Hall is, I believe I saw email correspondence. He's on vacation, but would make himself available for this meeting. And I believe it was discussed moving up everything involving Mr. Hall to early in the meeting, so we could address that, and then he could get back to his vacation with his family.
Excellent. He did speak with me today, and if you weren't going to make that motion, I was going to. So thank you very much.
For
All right,
clarification, Mr. Chair, because I was doing the roll call thing.
Yes.
The motion is to combine 4B with 3A.
That's right.
Okay.
Mr. Cheddar, you had your hand raised?
That was for a separate agenda proposal when we dispose of this item of business.
All right, excellent. I'll recognize you later. Any other discussion on this amendment? Any objection to the amendment? Hearing none, amendment passes. Mr. Chatterton? You're recognized.
Thank you. I wished to move to strike the policy manual amendment related to the EPCC and direct communication with staff members from the agenda. I believe that the policy manual is, and I'll leave it to the motion until recognized to speak.
Again,
So you'd like to move item D from new business, and then what was the other item?
I'm sorry, it would be item C under unfinished business. I was moving to strike.
Oh, I see. The motion to add language to PM.
Unfinished business, item C, motion to add language to PM section 107, subsection 6 about direct communication.
All right, there's a motion to strike that from the agenda. Is there a second?
I'll second.
There is a second, and also Mr. McMahon, would you be able to share the link with Mr. Hall for tonight's meeting?
Yes.
Um,
I need to stop sharing my screen to be
Excellent.
able to
There's
do
a
that.
Sure. So there's a motion and a second. Mr. Cheddar would like to speak to your motion.
Mr. Chair, who was the second?
Oh, I believe it was Mr. Bowles.
Mr. Bowles,
I second it.
you can't second, Mr. Martin.
I'm sitting as a representative today, sir.
Mr. Chat, wait, hold on. Oh, you are. I'm sorry, you are. I apologize. Mr. Lamb's not here. Thank you, Mr.
No
Martin.
worries.
You were correct.
All right. So would like to speak to your motion, Mr. Chatterton?
Well, I'll speak briefly to it. I think that a concern was raised by the former secretary, specifically about a provision of this policy with regard to communication with the council, as has been raised on numerous occasions of late. The council is representing all members of the LNC, so I think it's improper to restrict access on that grounds. And then I think the other provisions about communication directly with staff are unnecessary. So I think it's a better use of our time to skip this agenda item tonight and consider other business.
Is there any further discussion on this item? Seeing no, Mr. Martin, you're recognized.
Yeah, I just wanted to say, echo some of Mr. Chatterton's thoughts and just say that it's important that we, attend our duties to be able to contact the members of staff that we need in order to do our jobs. and provide oversight and get things done. And so I'd be happy to get rid of this PM amendment. I think that it's kind of it's really not good if we want to maintain an open board.
Any further discussion, Ms. Hayes?
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Can you hear me? Okay, good. I just want to say I agree that this PM amendment doesn't work. It's the role of corporate counsel to be available to all members of the board. I will just say I'm fine with skipping it, but everybody needs to be chill about inundating Oliver with emails, especially about things like trying to assist the former chair. Oliver is a counsel for the LNC. He's not your personal lawyer. He's not here to just sound off on any random thing. So just please be mindful of that. Same with staff. They don't need it, but I do think that this preamendment should not pass, and I'm fine with skipping it.
All right, seeing no further discussion, we can move on to a vote. Is there any objection, first off, to striking this item from the agenda? Hearing no objection, the motion passes, or the amendment passes. We're now back on to, well, we're back onto the agenda. We never had a motion to adopt the agenda.
So moved. I move to adopt the agenda as amended.
Okay, there's a motion to adopt as amended. Is there a second?
Second.
All right, is there any discussion on the agenda? Hearing no discussion, is there any objection to the agenda? Hearing no objection, agenda passes. So we will move on to unfinished business, item A, which has been combined with item B and standing items to address matters with the FEC in executive session, as well as New Mexico ballot access and FEC. So if Mr. Hall joins us, we will address what we can in open session. It does look like Mr. Hall is here. So Mr. Hall, you have the floor. Yeah, we're in open session currently. If there's anything you'd like to address now, and then we can move into executive session when ready.
Hi, everybody. You've caught me in vacation mode. Hope that's all right.
You're still better dressed than I am.
But I do have some updates, and I'll just go through them briefly and be happy to take any questions or comments that anybody may have. First, I know everybody is interested in the derivative lawsuit that's pending, Vest v. McCardle. In that lawsuit, our counsel, Ackerman LLP, has filed a motion to dismiss. The gist of the motion is that there's essentially nothing left to litigate in this case. The relief that Beth Vest is seeking is that Angela McCardle be removed as chair of the LNC and that she no longer be permitted to serve as an officer of the LNC or the Libertarian Party in any capacity. That has already happened, except for a measure prohibiting her from serving as an officer in any capacity. And we don't think that that actually can be effectuated. I mean, if the delegates re-elect her, then the LNC, I don't think, has any power to prevent that. But apart from that, essentially, the relief that Beth Vest is seeking has already occurred. And so we have filed a motion to dismiss, making that argument, and that the court should dismiss the lawsuit because there's nothing left to litigate. So that's the status of that lawsuit. If there are no questions on that or comments, then I'll move to the next topic. Okay, then moving on to the next item, which is probably everybody on the LNC is aware that Karen Ann Harlos has filed a complaint with the Federal Election Commission against the LNC and against Team Kennedy and a couple of other individuals associated with the Team Kennedy campaign. And I believe Angela McCardle may also be named as a respondent.
And just so we're clear, Mr. Oliver, we're still open in session. I just want to remind you if there's anything in executive that we need to move into.
Okay. Then I will just say that the complaint has been filed. We were just served with the complaint a day or two ago. I've reviewed it briefly. I've already spoken with the LNC in an executive session about the issues that it covered. And so I'm not going to comment any further in open session about it.
Do we want to cover New Mexico as well? Oh, Miss Hayes,
Moving
you have
on.
your hand
Yeah.
raised?
I would like to hear more about that complaint in executive session, please. If he wants to do New Mexico first in open session and then we can move after, that's fine with me too.
I move that we move into executive session immediately.
Second.
All right, there's a motion and a second. Is there any objection to moving into executive session at this time? All right, hearing no objection, we will proceed. Mr. Secretary, if you know how to do breakout rooms.
Kind of.
Whoops.
Mr. Chairman, I'm sorry to interrupt, but you should be appointing somebody to kind of watch the room out here.
Let's see. Who would like to play a game of keeping our guests entertained until we get back?
Apologies, folks. I just got off a plane.
Hey, Pat.
You made it.
Do we need a volunteer or a victim?
See, Sean Kennedy has joined us.
What about Miss Robson?
Sean, Miss Robson, are you any one victim?
Good guy.
I can do it. I wasn't going to volunteer, but I could do it.
I think you make her as a
Professional,
co-host, which you can do. Is that correct, Mr. Chair?
That is correct.
Okay.
Is this a designated survivor conversation?
Thanks, Meredith.
Will it?
You're now the professional cat wrangler.
Here's a question.
Butterflies.
How do I add myself to the room?
So, Mike,
That's a good question.
did you make me co-host, or are you just gonna let me wrangle them without that? Usually, Kieran used to make me co-host.
I have no objection to that.
Yeah, can you make her a co-host?
I am just boomering my way through this. Give me 1 second. Security.
I got
Paul,
it.
do you know how to assign co-host capability?
I got it.
Okay.
I think the host has to do it. So
okay.
I got her. She's co-host.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm gonna do this. Hopefully I did it right.
Here we go.
You're still here, Mr. Secretary.
Yeah, I don't know that I can go.
So is Ms. Cowart.
I just sent her thing, but I don't see how I can add myself to the room.
I think if you look at the breakout rooms, you should be able to. I'm looking at it because I can see it now that I'm co-host.
Can you see my name in there and then add me?
I'm gonna try. Maybe I don't see you. Okay, that's weird. I don't see you in the list. Oh wait. Because you're Libertarian, you're not you. No, I still don't see you in the list.
Yeah, I don't see me either. Maybe if I make you host, if I transfer host to you, and then you can make me
Okay.
make me host when we come back. I think that's how it works.
Okay, so try that. Okay, so I'm host now. Let me see if I see you now.
Yeah, because I don't see the breakout rooms anymore.
Okay. Okay, so assign to.
Yep, I got it.
Okay. Well, that was fun. Oh, hi, everybody. It's nice of Meredith to make me to recommend me.
It's nice to be able
Why
to.
not, right? So, hey, Richard, good to see you. Hey, Jonathan. Hey, Kyle. Hey, everybody else. Hi there.
It's
Oh,
JJ,
nice to
but
see
hi.
that. Oh, I am sorry. That is my mistake. And I know that. I just saw you.
No one really cared, but
Oh. But you would be Mr. Jacobs, is that correct?
If I were in a meeting, yes.
No.
if he was in Louisiana, it would be Mr. Jonathan, to be fair.
Well, actually, in my old neighborhood with the kids, it was Mr. JJ. So
Well, sorry if I offended. Hey, Dr. Phillies, how are you? Not really there. Tim,
I
hey,
guess
I haven't seen you in a long time.
I guess down south, JJ maybe would be JJ, but back the 2016 election or whenever Donald Trump was elected president first time, a Louisiana legislator who was activist in his campaign said it's common to call people sometimes by their first and middle names, and Trump's name was Donald John Trump, and this legislator tried to get us to start referring to him as Donnie John, which kind of is a Southern tradition.
I actually had it translated in while I was presiding. I actually had the title translated into Zulu because the people I was presiding over were Zulus, at least in part. And it was very funny because it's a beautiful language. And you hear in the middle of this them go, and I told them during the meeting, call me Mr. Moderator. Or call me the moderator. And I went through this, and you're hearing this beautiful language, this sing-songy thing with the clicks and everything. And in the middle of this, I hear JJ, and then they go back into the language. And I just after the woman finished, I said, the moderator was unaware that JJ was a Zulu for moderator.
Hello, all and sundry.
Hello.
Hello, hello.
Someone tried to speak to me, and it took a while to get over to the right screen and unmute things. So I will say hello, and now I will go back to the other screen.
Okie dokie. Well, I
But
can tell you I'm
perhaps,
not going to be entertaining, so people really should just talk.
but perhaps I will comment that we seem to have a remarkable number of LNC members not here.
So what's up with this lawsuit thing? Does that mean that Beth is going to be dropping the lawsuit? Is that what their executive session about?
They're proposing that the court should make the lawsuit go away. Beth's attorneys get to argue whether they want this to happen or not. I believe the answer is no, and I believe they have a number of grounds for continuing it. Now, what actually happens, God only knows.
From what they described, this executive session referred to another complaint filed by the former secretary.
The executive session at this point has not 2 but 3 topics. You're perfectly correct, JJ. That's the second one. And there's also something going on with New Mexico.
Correct.
But I hadn't heard about the Secretary's FEC complaint. And if the FEC has not changed its rules, that's not public until they rule on it.
This is the first time I've heard about it, so.
Surely she said something on one of her podcasts, right?
Does anybody know any details about it?
I think from what Oliver Hall said a few minutes ago, the party just received notice of suit in the past couple of days. It's relatively new.
Strictly speaking, if it's an FEC thing, it's a criminal complaint unless they've changed their process again. It's formally against the treasurer. From the listed names and other things I've heard, I believe the issue is that the LNC received a large amount of money from the joint fundraising campaign with Kennedy. The rules on joint fundraising campaign appear to say that you can only do a JFC with candidates of your own party when they were candidates, and the question is whether Kennedy can claim he was a candidate of our party. He was not on the ballot anywhere as a candidate of our party, which I believe is part of the issue, and we now descend into the depths of details of Federal Election Commission regulations. But this is the first that I'd heard that anything had been filed. Go ahead, JJ.
I'm going to interrupt for a second, real quick. Mr. Wiley, are you in here? Because I was just told you need to go into the breakout session. Are you here?
Jim?
Yeah, if somebody want to assign me to the breakout.
Okay, I'm gonna send you over to the breakout session. So James Wiley. Okay, I'm sending you over there now, okay?
Yeah, I'm not.
Each get a thing.
He's
he made it there.
I'm not sure.
Okay, go ahead.
I'm not sure of the status, but he may have been listed as a Libertarian candidate in New Hampshire. I'm not certain if that was the case or not. George, you may know more about this than I do, or Dr. Phillies, you may know more about it than I do.
I don't recall the answer to that, but I have a way of looking it up, though I will be invisible for a few moments.
So what's the worst possible outcome that Karen Ann could get out of filing the FEC complaint?
The money we received from the Kennedy campaign was an illegal donation, and we would have to return it, all of it. This is a very large sum of money, which curiously we do not have.
What does that mean that we don't have it?
The Treasury does not have $500,000 in it, or it's some larger sum. Maybe it's closer to $1 million.
Where could it have gone?
Well, let's see. There was all this money that came in, which we paid out to the Kennedy campaign, spent on behalf of the Kennedy campaign and various other places at the direction of the JFC in Kennedy. There was money that was sent off to various state affiliates. Anything that passed through the Treasury would be potentially at risk. I don't know what the likelihood of that is. And I have looked up New Hampshire thanks to uselectionatlas.org, accept no substitute, even if they do think that Democrats are red and Republicans are blue. And the Libertarian candidates on the New Hampshire ballot were Chase Oliver and Michael Termat. Kennedy got some write-in votes.
Do we know how much money was raised altogether?
I think that can be looked up on the FEC filings if you will give me a moment.
And just real quick, nobody knows really what Suriname did because I've not heard anything. So this is like all speculation, right?
The connection with the Kennedy joint fundraising campaign was mentioned by Hall. The details, however, were not.
Okay.
So does anyone know what the situation is with New Mexico ballot access? Why that's a executive session topic?
I don't. It's probably about something to do with litigation, but I don't have any idea. I know there's issues in New Mexico. There have been for a while.
What's the status with Arkansas and their ballot access right now?
We're plugging away. We've got about 80% of the signatures we need, but we're running short of funds. So if any of you out there are willing to donate to our ballot access fund, you can go to lpar.org and go to donate, and we'd appreciate the support.
Did you guys have to get like signatures in each district kind of thing, or is it just across the board?
No, it's just across the board. We just need 10,000 valid signatures across the state. We're closing in on 10,000 raw signatures, but we really need about 13,000 just to be sure. So we're still a couple thousand signatures short, and like I said, we're scraping the bottom of the barrel on our funding. The volunteers have come through. We've collected 20% of our signatures are from volunteer efforts.
Hiring for signature gatherers, if I can pry. You don't have to if you don't want to. Yeah, I feel like here in Louisiana, they just changed the law that we have to get so many signatures in each district. It's going to be quite difficult.
Yeah, they've done that in Arkansas with the voter initiatives, like to amend the Constitution or to pass a voter-initiated law. A lot of restrictions, including requiring ID being shown and reading the legal status of petitions to the petition signers, and so that's in court and under litigation. It's a crazy situation, but at least all we need to do is get signatures and address and birth date, and there's no restrictions on locations around the state, like 50 counties of the 75, which is in effect for other initiatives.
Did anyone go to Ron's birthday party this weekend?
I didn't. I had thought about it, but I couldn't make that happen with just having been away for something else. Sounded like it was very nice though. Spike seemed to enjoy it, although he said it was too short. George, are you there?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, so it said that you went away and then I just let you back in, but now it's saying you're joining, so I wasn't quite sure.
Why don't you let me join, please? And maybe that will clear things up.
Well, I did, and it says you're joining, but it's not doing anything more.
Can anyone else hear me?
I can.
You should be able to.
Yep, I hear you, George.
Loud
However,
and clear.
I am not seeing the screen is the complication. I'm not sure what's going on here.
Well, you show you're both here and in the waiting room, but in the waiting room, I let you in and it still just says joining. So it's kind of like there's two of you.
I'm sure this will delight many people. Having said that, I did manage to find the FEC column that indicates roughly how much money we received from the Joint Fundraising Committee, and for last year it was $4 million. I have no idea which of those amounts Karen Ann is challenging.
Goodness.
That's a lot of money.
Yes. There we go. For some reason, Mimi, we're contracted to a little box, but I hit screen expand, and instead of you expanding, the whole meeting came back. So thank you for asking, but I'm here.
Okay, good. And you're no longer in the waiting room and here, so whatever it was is fixed.
Bilocation is a perfectly orthodox miracle. If you don't believe me, read Declan Finn's St. Tommy series about a New York cop who suddenly discovers that he has become a saint, literally.
Mm. Well, I like the name Declan. That's the name that I named my pig.
He's a science fiction writer. I think he actually has another name, and that is his pen name.
Well, Declan is a good name. It's a name I like.
Yes.
Very Irish.
With respect to the Harlos document that was mentioned, I think I have heard from other people, at least one of whom is an attorney, familiar with FEC matters, the question that there were certain issues associated with the propriety of the Joint Fundraising Commission. However, the point was made that the FEC currently cannot summon a quorum and therefore can't actually do anything to anyone.
Hmm.
Sounds like the Texas legislature.
Has the governor of Texas started appealing to contacting local judges about having rulings that people have vacated their office? I gather that's the process, that some judge actually has to do it, not the governor.
I don't think that's the actual process. If I remember it the last time, it is that they will actually go out and try to hunt down the people.
Oh, they can do that too, but this is we will declare the office as vacant because they aren't showing up for work and have no excuse, and stage a new special election.
Right. He has talked about that. I don't know what provision there is in Texas law for that. There may be some such provision, but yes, that would require judicial action. But he said he is I don't know how he plans to reach out to those who are out of state, or if he just plans to have state troopers wait until they eventually have to come home and then have them in the driveway. I don't know.
This did happen several years ago, and they did go after them with the state troopers.
I did hear him make the comment. I think I heard this on the news. It could have been yesterday, but said, the session is 30 days, and that Louisiana law or the Louisiana Constitution allows them to call a special session, every 30 days. And he basically said, if I have to, I'll just call one special session after another until finally, we round up enough of them to have a quorum.
actually used the U.S. House attempts to get a quorum in 1890 in some parliamentary lessons. It was quite interesting. It is the reason that we have the why they have defined majority the way they do in the United States.
Sorry, of that 4 million that was raised, how much went to the LNC?
Nominally 10%.
Okay.
There may be some small issues hither and there. The money may have been raised via a state party, in which case it went back to the state to 10%. There may also be some special rules about technical this, that, and the other thing, but it's roughly 10%.
I wonder how long this executive session is going to go.
I'm thinking it might take a little while because they have, what, 3 issues they're going to be taking up, maybe 4.
It was only 3 that they noticed
3.
going into the meeting, so it should only be 3. New Mexico, the FEC thing, and the derivative lawsuit. But I know Oliver's on vacation, so he may not want it to go very long.
I'm not sure if they're discussing the derivative lawsuit in the executive session. They might be, but it wasn't actually stated.
I thought they stated that when they first talked about executive session, because originally it was supposed to be just the derivative lawsuit, and then that's when Bill added to it New Mexico, and then they added to it FEC thing because Oliver brought it up.
The conversation was not exactly what you would call brilliantly coherent, but I believe Mimi is right. But if someone missed the other 2, I certainly am not surprised.
Yeah, it was done, I think, when he started talking about the thing with Carrion. I think that they just wanted to get into executive session as quickly as possible.
No one remembered to force them to specify the reason under the bylaws, though it was fairly obvious what it was. At least as far as I could tell, no one did.
Right. Yeah, the motion that was made to go in was a little fluffy, but the first 2 things were talked about in the agenda itself. But, and I think it was pretty clear that, you know, they wanted to talk about what Oliver brought up that hadn't been talked about before. So.
My thoughts are they adequately cover the reason going into executive session. It may not have been listed on the agenda.
I think it was
all of these
close enough or clear enough.
All of these electronic meetings are technically special meetings, and they maybe need to be on the agenda.
Well, you know what, you're right, because anything to do with Carrion or the FEC was not on the agenda. So actually, that shouldn't have been part of it without something more.
They did amend the agenda. I presume that all of the issues there could be described as impending litigation.
Right. Well, they could amend the agenda, add item was a regular meeting, but this is a special meeting, and notice has to be given.
Right, and notice was given for the New Mexico issue, it was just at a later time, and Bill wanted to amend the agenda to put it up at the same time as the other executive session. So Oliver only had to go into executive session 1.
There may be a question of if they're just bringing up information to discuss and they're not taking any action. That might be a question.
They never can take actions in executive session.
I
It's only
mean,
for discussion.
at a special meeting, even if they were to go out of the executive session.
I was about to say the same thing, JJ. It technically maybe shouldn't even talk about it, but as long as they don't take action on it.
Oh, got it. Okay, I understand what you're saying now.
So everything in executive session will eventually become public knowledge, correct?
Not necessarily.
No?
It depends if
No.
Yeah. If they would have to become public, there would have to be something that they would be taking action on, which they would have to do in public. But if it's just something like a discussion, to give you a hypothetical example, if they were to go into executive session and the attorney would say, well, you can sue somebody. They didn't take any action to do that. It would you might never find out about it.
Executive sessions are supposed to be kept secret, except they can report out of executive session motions. However, if there's litigation, the court can order the people who were in the executive session to testify or summon recordings, if any, to reveal what was said. That's not a complete statement as how things get out.
And frequently, an organization may need to disclose the action taken in executive session. Like, but most organizations can take action in executive sessions. Your bylaws prohibited. You have to come out of executive session. But for most ordinary, organizations, they can actually take action in executive session. And they often disclose just what action was taken. But all of the discussion remains secret. Remains under the veil of the executive session unless you vote to lift the secrecy.
I would note that is also common in local governments, at least in some states, where you'd have a similar situation. You would have discussion in executive session of certain things, but if there was an action, it would generally have to be published.
Correct. That's certainly true in Louisiana. City councils go in and parish councils or county councils go into executive session frequently to discuss lawsuits or other things, but to take any action on it, they've got to come out of executive session. Somebody makes a formal motion to do whatever they agreed to do in secret and vote in public to do it or not to do it. But the discussion that took place in executive session remains secret unless they vote to lift it.
Okay, so when they come back from this, they're not going to be like, okay, hey guys, this is what we've decided.
They decide something, yeah. If they do something, yes. But
right.
They would have to do that in open session, basically, or at least report it. But they just go in there and get information, don't do anything, then that's it.
Is there a time period on the information that happens in executive session? Like if you end a term, can you talk about it after your term is done?
No, you're not supposed to. Even a guest in an executive session would not be there to review something. I've been in a few of them where I have been a guest, not just a member, and that stuff stays secret. I have stuff dating from the 80s that I know about that I can't talk about.
Oh, sorry for the big sigh. I thought I was muted.
I looked at the report of the secretary on the balloting to fill the 2 vacant at-large positions on the LNC. And honestly, I found it hard to follow. I was confused as to their tabulation process. Can anybody elaborate that? It looks to me like they should have selected the 2 top vote getters, but it doesn't look like that's what they actually did.
I think they used approval voting.
Well, yeah, they voting, but I thought it was the top 2 vote getters. Even though they actually were.
The graph may not be clear, but they did select the top 2 vote getters. There were 14 votes cast. One of the candidates got 14 votes, and then there was an interesting bifurcation. The second candidate, who was also elected, got 8 votes. There were then 5 losing candidates who got 6, or in one case, 5 votes from the same 6 people. And then there was down someplace off to the side, there was Nick Sarwark, who got a grand total of 2 votes. So I'm not sure what you're looking at that you're finding confusing, but someplace there is a report of the secretary which lists the names of each of the 8 candidates and each of the people who voted for him or her. I'm not sure in all cases. And someplace down below there were a series of alternates who voted in case their primaries didn't, and those votes were reported but not counted because they don't count.
You're right. Okay, I do understand that now. Thank you.
Oh, good. You're most welcome. This is what I get for spending a considerable time trying to write it up for third-party watch. But you are most welcome.
And I expect those top 2 actually also did receive a majority of the votes cast.
Correct.
I believe so, yes.
Because there was some discussion before that meeting ended about whether voting would require a majority vote, and it does. Somebody said no, it doesn't, but it does. But if candidates did receive a majority of the votes, then there's no problem there. And the top
I think though, I actually talked to a few people on the LNC, and because they did basically a motion to suspend the rules, part of the suspension of the rules was to allow for it to be basically the top 2 regardless of majority, so it could be a plurality, but it was just top 2. And they did a motion to suspend the rules, so therefore that's why they were able to do it, even though it was done kind of in a sloppy manner. But that's what I was told by LNC members.
They really, if we watched the same meeting, they did not vote to suspend the rules. Said it doesn't require it, but some people may take the position that since the motion was adopted by more than 2/3, that would amount to suspending the rules. I don't quite agree with it.
Well, not that I'm arguing with you, but what happened was when they asked what the vote threshold was, the chair said the vote threshold was 2/3, and it would only be 2/3 if it was a suspension of the rules. So therefore, he was counting it as a suspension of the rules.
I don't think he did that because
No.
I noticed the vote on that. You need a 2/3 vote to close the polls, which is
Right.
what they were trying to do.
Correct.
And I noticed that they did get that 2/3 vote, but they did not call for it. In fact, I mentioned it after the meeting was over.
Right, and that was the vote to close the polls.
That was the vote on the process, but that included closing the
Oh,
polls
okay.
Right.
at an earlier time. If it's
No,
part
I'm
of
just
the-
saying that's what I was explained to me as the way that they took it. I don't think it was done properly either, but that's what it was explained to me.
I think it was done. I think it was done properly but the description that you got was not proper, which does happen.
But it's moot as long as both candidates received a majority of the votes cast, and with the vacancies, I don't, how there could have been more than 15 votes. You know, cast eight would be a majority, so
There were 14 votes.
8 is a majority, so both
Right.
candidates actually did receive a majority vote.
Yeah, there was 14 because one member did not vote.
Vinson,
Correct.
who has not recently been very visible. I
I
believe
was
he's
just
not
about to
here
say that.
tonight. Hmm?
I was just about to say that. Yeah, he hasn't been at the last few meetings.
Who are we referring to?
Vincent.
He was at part of the June 9th meeting. He arrived late and was not there for the actual voting on the resolution. He may have been there to vote for the SIC report. I'm not certain on that.
Oh.
Well, they have 3 topics to discuss.
I will be honest, part of the reason why I wasn't volunteering was because I didn't necessarily want to sit here this whole time except for that volunteered. So here I am. So I'll sit here.
We seem to be fairly polite this time.
Yeah, you wanted to be here. I mean,
Oh yeah, no, it seems everybody, well, hardly anybody's talking, and everybody that's talking is very polite. So
I would say the last actually very polite, at least the last couple.
I agree. I think that we've turned a corner onto much more polite meetings in general.
I think
I don't
so.
know if anybody watched California, but California was very polite. I'm talking about the convention.
Yeah. Mimi, when is the California meeting?
I'm sorry?
Well, when is the next?
It's Friday the 15th.
Okay.
At 6:30 our time. So
What
8:30
meeting
your
is
time.
that? A board
The
meeting?
executive committee of the California Party. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I just checked them. I just checked the minutes of the 6-9 meeting. Vincent was there for the adoption of the report. For the adoption of the report, he did abstain.
Thank you for looking it up. What about the July and August, which is what I was thinking of? I wasn't thinking as far back as June.
I didn't see the minutes for the July and August meetings yet.
Oh.
I think that June was the last one that is up. Let me check.
And just if anybody is interested about the California ExCo meeting, the Zoom link, I believe, is on the California Facebook page. I don't believe it's on the website at this point.
I'm glad to see that. Hopefully, starting back the Facebook page that was cut out 2 years ago or a year ago.
Oh, if you're talking about the group, I don't believe that they're talking about reinstating that. But the page has been up, it just hasn't been active.
Yeah. The last meeting that is up is June 9th. We don't have minutes after that.
Thank you.
Let me take a look at the vote totals and see if I can find some, if he voted on some email ballots.
There may be something on third-party watch.
Most recent ballot that I have a record of is 7-1. There might be some others, but the one that I just have a record that I can grab is 7-1, and Vincent did vote on that.
Maybe he's out on tour with his comedy.
I didn't know he did comedy.
Oh, fuck. What is the policy manual amendment that they, I think, voted to take off? I'm not looking at the agenda.
Oh, I don't
Attorney,
remember.
it was the thing relating to the, all questions to the attorney have to go through the chair.
Ah, okay. Thanks, JJ.
Yes, thank you.
I can see how that's a good policy as a general policy, but question the wisdom of making it an actual rule.
Vincent answered the roll call at the 8-3 meeting. So he has been active since then.
So I guess I have a question because, and I think I know the answer, but the missing 2 meetings, that's only regular meetings, right? So if they miss these special meetings, that doesn't count toward the 2 meetings that they missed?
I think that is.
I'm not looking at it. Okay,
Yeah,
that's what I
believe
thought.
that
So
is correct.
being they have
These special
very
meetings,
few regular meetings.
yeah, these special are strange creation. They are by definition in the special rules, maybe the bylaws, but at least in the in your rules of order, all electronic meetings are special meetings, but yet they wanted to have a regular basis. So they are regular special meetings, or regular, or you might say special meetings held on a regular date, but still subject to all the rules of a special meeting as far as notice, etc. And it does make sense.
Well, actually, that.
Go ahead.
Yeah, it does, except for that. Then I mean, because yes, all electronic meetings are special typically, but like in a particular state I'm thinking of, it was somehow considered that electronic meetings were not special and didn't require the special notification of being special.
In the case of the National Party, it's only because the rules specify that they're special meetings.
And it would depend upon the state.
Okay.
It would depend upon the state. They could very easily have regular meetings that were electronic.
Yeah.
They so chose. But the rules don't permit it.
But that would have to be in the bylaws, correct?
Well, no, I don't believe it would be. I think that the way that the bylaws are worded, they say you can have electronic meetings and they leave the details. They say you can adopt rules to cover it. And that would be how to do it. You would not necessarily have to have regular meetings scheduled in the bylaws. A lot of times they can in fact be scheduled by resolution.
Okay, I was just curious.
Section 9:2 of Robert. Mr. Brown, what are you looking for?
Looking in the the national policy manual for the provision on electronic meetings, because I think that's where it appears. Section 8, I believe.
Let me get, I think I might have what you're looking for.
Section on page 10 of the hard copy I've got, but this is as of February last year. It's right. Unless the numbering has changed, it's
I believe it's section 1.08.
and it's subsection G. Electronic meetings are special meetings such that only topics listed in the call of the meeting may be considered during the meeting. That's section
I have it as 1.08.
102 parentheses 8, and it's 8G. G is in golf. And that makes sense because the electronic meetings can be called on fairly short notice. And it makes sense that the members would have a right to know what is the meeting about? Why is it being held? Well, I'm going to put in some earbuds and move around and take care of other things while I just listen.
Hi, Chuck.
I'm going to have my microphone muted though, so I may not be able to respond right away if somebody wants to say something to me.
What
Doesn't
else
seem like
is
a
on
whole
the
lot of people
agenda?
are talking.
Sorry.
Oh, oh, that's okay. I was just gonna say to Richard, not that many people are talking anyways, so I think it's okay. There's the agenda.
What is left on the agenda?
I'm looking for the agenda now.
I think just about everything. I don't think that this is basically the first item of business.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking kind of too, so. Yeah, so the agenda, what they've gotten through so far is roll call, public comment, adoption. And yeah, they haven't really done anything else. So they've got
What else haven't they
unfinished
hit?
business. I'm sorry?
What else haven't they hit?
Well, so
pending.
after adoption of agenda, which is basically where we were, they had gone to the legal matters was there. LNC matters with FEC. That was Bill Redpath. I guess that's what this is about, I guess. Then they've got audit committee report. They've got they had the motion to adopt the policy manual change, which has been taken off the agenda. Resolution to adopt Overwatch operator program. Convention oversight committee report. Legal matters, which is what they're doing now. And they've got motion to fill candidate support committee vacancy, motion to set date for 2028 convention, motion to set date and location for next in-person meeting, motion to amend PM to move EPPC from 5 to 3 members, and motion to appoint Jesse Cowart to FEC. So yeah, they've got everything else that's on the agenda still on the agenda.
Mimi, do you have the ability to let people in the room?
Yeah, I've been.
Okay. For some reason, I can't get my speaker to come back on, so I may have to leave and then come right back in.
We can't hear you.
Okay, yeah, I can put you in.
Okay.
On the agenda, is there a time set for adjournment?
Let's look. There are no, well, I mean, there's no actual time. Everything has, you know, certain amounts of time associated with it, but there's no time certain for adjournment.
Okay, well, they will be limited when they come out of this to that time. So,
Well, they
may.
I mean, they could have been making motions to. I mean, they can make motions to extend time, I would suppose, but.
Technically, I don't think so. On something that would be not. They would have to amend the agenda, and they would have to come out, I think, to amend that agenda.
Well, so for the things that were supposed to be an executive session, it only had. So for the FEC, that's 10 minutes. And they only had 25 minutes listed for total for the executive session.
It might be eating into
And,
the rest of the time.
Yeah, because they've definitely gone over the 25 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
Actually, I don't recall what time they went in, but the meeting has been going for an hour and a half.
It's
So
a little bit after
if they were
7, so yeah. They're coming out.
Oh, we're back, suckers.
Oh my goodness. I'm waiting for
As
Libertarian Party
Mr. Chairman,
to come
you're
back
muted.
in. So,
How you doing, Mimi? How you holding it down?
oh, it's been just terrible, I tell you. People have been just horrible. I'm joking. It's been very,
Wait,
very
were,
quiet.
were, were you in the room with us?
No, I was not. I'm waiting to see Evan. Okay, there's Evan. So I'm going to give Evan back hosting duties. I don't want them any longer. He keeps
You haven't been abdicated of your responsibilities.
I have reclaimed the host. Thank you, Mimi.
You reclaimed it yourself. Okay, perfect.
I think
I was
so.
looking for you to do that.
Yeah,
So
yep, I did.
yes, I'm just a participant. Okay, well, yeah, it was just fine and dandy in here.
Point of
So we have
personal
a-
privilege, Mr. Secretary, could you please share with us the agenda on screen?
All right, and assuming we've all made it through the wormhole, Mr. McMahon, whenever you're ready to restart the recording.
Point of order, Mr. Chair. Just make sure that Mr. Ford understands that the agenda was amended so that.
Yes.
Okay, so it's being done. Okay, never mind. I retract my point of order.
Point of personal privilege.
Point of personal privilege, Mr. Boss.
Yes, I would like to apologize to the committee for the delay.
That's quite all right.
No need to apologize.
Mr. Ford, are you good with it for now so that I can do some other things in the meeting? Can I stop sharing my screen for a moment, sir?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm all set.
Pat, do you want me to send you a copy of the agenda?
No, my only concern, Mr. Chair, is I have a flight that I thought was going to be fine. And I do want this meeting to never end, but if there's any possibility we could speed up the convention oversight report, it'll be public, it'll be brief. I'll waive any confidentiality I have and do a direct to email with a couple numbers that I want to send the board. But I would love the opportunity to talk sometime within the next 45 minutes.
Just as a point of
certainly.
information, Mr. Chair, the meeting was being recorded the entire time.
Oh,
I never hit pause before I left. So whatever you guys were saying about us when we were out of the room, we're going to know.
You guys may have saved us some YouTube subscribers. Every time we live stream a meeting, we lose like 50 of them. So if you guys are entertaining, we might have gained some. You never know.
Well, we weren't on YouTube.
We were not entertaining at all, so I don't think we made any. It was really not entertaining.
So whenever you're ready to call us back to order, Mr. Chair, you can go ahead and do so.
All right, it is Sunday, August 8th, or excuse me, August 10th at 8:31 p.m. I'm calling this meeting back to order. We have risen from executive session and we are now on to item B under unfinished business without previous notice, the audit committee report and update. I'm Mr. Bowen. Mr. Bowen, are you joining us?
I am here. Can everybody hear me okay?
Loud and
One
clear, sir.
clarification, Mr. Chair, it is with notice.
Oh, it is with notice.
Without
Excuse me.
previous notice, it's postponed from previous meeting, which would mean that it had
Thank you.
notice.
I apologize. All
Okay.
right, Mr. Bowman, you have the
Thank you,
floor.
Mr. Chair. I hope everything, you can hear me okay. I'm having some internet issues earlier this evening, probably thunderstorms in southern Florida, which I know Mr. Chair knows about very well. I'll be brief. The audit is completed. We did actually submit a amended audit report. That report, along with the amended supplemental audit committee report, should be in the OneNote for everyone to view. The audit report is public record. There's never anything confidential in it. So if anybody wants to take a look at it, they can request it. I don't think we posted on the website, but it can always be requested from the executive director or the LNC secretary, I believe. And it is good to go. My colleague and friend, Doug Nebel, was on the committee with me, as was Kathy Yanuskevich before she resigned earlier this month, I guess it was. And the reason we had to do the adjustment was there were some issues with estimates. I'm not going to get into the weeds on that. I don't bore everybody, but basically organizations, especially nonprofits, use pretty much significant estimates from time to time. They buy products and services that may overlap certain allocations, likewise salaries and consulting services. People aren't keeping track of every single minute of exactly what they do. That's usually a big portion of the estimates, and so they have to be booked and they have to be estimated for a report that's in the audit report, which you can take a look at if you take a look at the report, something called a functional allocation of expenses. And basically that report is issued by pretty much, actually by every nonprofit, not just political parties, but all nonprofits. And the reason they do that, it's because nonprofits donors like to see where their money's being spent, how much of it is being spent in general administrative, as opposed to how much is actually being spent on programs that they're interested in. So that's why we do the estimates. So we noted when the audit was completed that the convention revenue, or actually convention expense, was elevated. We looked further into it. We noted that the estimate that was used was about 30% of those unallocated expenses. We considered that high. And so we had Hannah, our executive director, take a look at it. And I don't think she's on the call tonight. I do want to thank her because she did a great job of actually finding a way to actually, for this period and for future periods, actually find a good way to allocate and those estimates into the different buckets. The buckets we use, just so you know what we allocate to, is we allocate to campaign candidates, communications, membership, convention and events, ballot access, affiliate support. Those are the programs. Then we also have to do some general administrative, which is management in general, and fundraising and acquisition. So Hannah found a way to a formula that we believe works. The audit committee is happy with it. I know the officers, the chair and the vice chair, had a chance to review it. They were happy with it, and the audit committee is okay with it too. So we are at a situation where the audit is complete, and we'll move on to next year when the time comes. I do have one thing I want to mention. I want to note there are some people on this committee, and there are some outside forces that basically accuse this audit committee of using the estimates as a personal vendetta against our former chair. And I want to go on record and say that that is absolutely not true. In fact, it's not even possible, because the audit committee has no way to actually set those estimates. Those estimates are set by the staff. So I just want to categorically deny that we were using those estimates for any personal vendetta against the former chair. It's just untrue. It's uninformed, and it just didn't happen that way. So I just want to make that point. Lastly, I do want to mention that and congratulate my friend and colleague Doug Nebel for becoming a member of the LNC. And because he is now a member of the LNC, he is considered the LNC member on the audit committee. I am a member of the audit committee, non-LNC member, and there is one vacant position that needs to be filled as a non-LNC member. It is not urgent. You know, our work is done here the year unless the board decides they want to have us do something else, agreed upon procedure or special project. But our work is done here now until the first quarter of next year when we rehire an auditor and start the process over again. So with that, I'll take questions and or yield my time.
Thank you very much, Mr. Bowen and the Audit Committee for your report. I'll go with Mr. McMahon and then Mr. Martin.
I just wanted to say, Mr. Bowen, that the report was not included in the OneNote because I didn't know if it was confidential. But I will add it to the OneNote, and I will also, Mr. Chair, send it to the board, forward it to the public list as well, so that members can see it.
That's fine, Evan. That's usually what we do in prior years. We've done the same thing. We've just posted it on the public list. There's nothing confidential there. Okay. And it's there. And but again, over the course of the year, some people may not have that email list, or they lose it, or they delete emails. So you may get requests from time to time for copies, and it is okay. There are no reasons not to send copies of that report to anyone.
Thank you, Mr. Bowen.
Thank you.
Mr. Martin.
Aloha. Thank you, Mr. Bowen, for introducing the report. I think I have a two-part question. I'll try to give it to you succinctly here. It seems there were methodology changes from previous years to this year, and that the way that we're now calculating the audit has in fact changed. And I think that's part of what might be giving rise to some of the distrust. And it seems that those changes were done in such a way that would raise some eyebrows. So my one question first, I guess part one would be, I'll make it a three-part. Part one is, were there changes? Two, if so, can you tell me and elaborate what changes there were? And then third part question would be, the staff allocation seems wrong. It should be about 5%. I'd love to get Hannah Kennedy into this meeting if I can call her to elaborate on the staff allocation. And yeah, that's my question.
Okay, yeah, as opposed to the first question, there's obviously been changes because Hannah has come up with a new formula to do that. Some of that is explained, not in detail, in my report, in my supplemental report, based on emails that Hannah had sent to me and to the chair, or actually to the audit committee and the chair, I should say. So yes, there definitely have been changes. I honestly don't know what the procedure was beforehand. That would have been done by prior staff over the years. I'm sure there was some sort of formula that they were using. Honestly, I can honestly say it may not have been as accurate in the past. You're never going to get 100% accuracy out of estimates. They don't have to be exact. They only have to be reasonable, which is an audit term. So that the auditor feels comfortable that it is within reason, not exact. And it's always good from time to time to look into those things and make changes, or at least see if those numbers are applicable to the work we do. And it was obvious in this last iteration that they were not. As far as the exact changes that Hannah has made, I defer to her to answer a question about that. I know it does involve looking deeper into salaries and consulting services. And I know Hannah is asking staff and consultants to track their time better, as opposed to track time as to what they're actually doing, as opposed to just, doing whatever they do and not documenting their hours, but not documenting closely exactly which areas they were working on. I think that's going to make a big difference and make things better for estimations in the future. Mr. Martin, what was the third part again? I'm sorry.
The third part is about staff allocations. They seem not correct. I think it's 5% is what it should be. And I was going to ask if we could get Hannah Kennedy to weigh in on some of those changes, and I'd love to get her take on this. I think that's really kind of an important question.
I would object to calling her now because it's about her bedtime, and she doesn't like. I would hate to have her work after hours to come on an LNC meeting. But Mr. Martin, if you'd like to email her and CC the board, you're more than welcome to do so.
Yeah, and just for the record, Mr. Martin, which estimate are you asking about, just so I can make a note of it?
Staff allocation should be about 5%. I'm just saying, like,
when you say when you say,
I mean, it looks like you departed from established procedure for estimations that we've used in the past, and there should be good justification for doing that.
Right at this point,
right? So the organization's own history is usually the prime thing that you would use to gauge your estimates.
Yeah,
so if you're coming out with
at this point, Mr. Martin, I'm going to let you answer. I'm going to let you finish asking your question, but I don't want to go back and forth with Mr. Bowen. We're going to go round table, go back to discussion.
You're saying staff allocation, Austin, and I'm not sure which. I'm in other words, you're saying it should be 5%. What is it now that you're saying?
You know, I can go and I can open all this up, but I doubt all the members here have the patience for that. Maybe you and I, and we can try to figure it out so that I don't have any misunderstandings before I bring it up.
I just wanted to find out.
I do want to know, like,
which line item. Yeah, I just wanted to find out which line item you were
with respect to the changes. I mean, if there's significant changes in the way we're estimating, that's a big deal. That really changes the character of the audit quite a bit, because any auditor, even if they're using a different formula, would certainly reference the previous estimates, and so that just causes me a little uncomfortability, I would say.
Okay, well, what I would do is if as the chair stated, if you're going to email Hannah, include me on that email, and I'm sure between the three of us we can get that hashed out.
Thank you, appreciate that.
Okay. All right, I yield the rest of my time, Mr. Chair.
Mr. I would think we're out of time on this, Mr. Chair.
Excellent. Well, thank you very much, Mr. Redpath. We'll
extend time by 5 minutes to allow other members to ask questions.
Objection.
Before we do that, are there other members that have questions for Mr. Bowen? Going once, going twice, going 3 times. Does not like that there's any hands raised. So I want to say thank you to Mr. Bowen for your report. And we'll be moving on to item D, which is resolution to adopt Overwatch operator program. Mr. Chatterton.
I would defer to Mr. Martin to speak to this motion if he's interested.
Mr. Martin?
I am. I'm worried that the disposition of the board may be an obstacle to getting business done on this, and I hope not. So this is a really important proposal. It's what the LNC needs. We need the ability to effectuate outcomes in the field. If we want to get candidates elected, we need teams to be able to support them. We need people who are trained. We need people who can actually effectively apply political pressure in our party's favor and be able to make our candidates do the things that candidates need to do in order to win. The 3 resources that we need are lists, money, and people. And we should have contractors, our people, dedicated full-time to generating these resources, regardless of what political controversies are happening up here, right? So we'll have oversight, of course, but the idea here is to create a situation where we have people who are on the ground doing very important and useful tasks for us. For instance, strategic petitioning. When we run a petition, right, we say, hey, you know, who's in favor of constitutional carry? Who's in favor of abolishing the regulatory state? Every signature you get on a petition like that is consent to contact. These are people who will agree to let you contact them, and it allows us to build proprietary lists. On a college campus or at a public place, you're able to gather quite a, you know, large list of people. You put out a table in front of a courthouse and say, you know, how was your service today? You know, leave a review, right? You're going to get a lot of people who are dissatisfied with, you know, various things. So the broadness or narrowness of these lists, how libertarian the issue is, and the methodology being used by the operator will determine the character of these proprietary
Mr. Martin, I'm very sorry to interrupt. 2 things. One is before we get into deep conversation, I want to make sure there's a second. So is there a second for Mr. Chatterton's motion?
I'll second if I can.
Will you make the motion? So we need okay, so you're seconding it. And then do you mind sending a copy of the proposal and the actual language of the motion to the board? It looks like that may have been.
I believe it has been sent, sir, several times, but I can send another one right now.
Mr. Chair.
Mr. McMahon.
It was Mr. Martin. I don't have a copy of it, and I couldn't find one in any of the records or notes. So I put it on the calendar, so I don't have a copy of the motion for the record.
I don't want anybody to vote blind on this. So here's what I'll do. I'll introduce it, and then I would be in favor of of putting this off. I can either introduce it by email ballot or kick it to another meeting, however the body wants to do it. I would just like an opportunity to speak on why this is very necessary for us, and then I'll try to keep it short. Sound good? All right, so we need to be able to converge our limited resources to concentrate them into winnable districts and be able to do things there that allow us to entrench and embed and be ready for an actual campaign. Campaigns should know whether or not they're going to hit their win number, how many voters they've contacted. And in order to contact that many voters, we have the Archimedes approach where we buy the data from the top. That data that we buy is not worth that much. It's valuable, but it's not the same as if we had assembled that data from the ground up. People who give us their information willingly and consensually, if we can find ways to do that extremely effectively, we generate proprietary lists that have incredible value in politics, especially to us. That allows our candidates to do things they couldn't do before. By having contractors that we pay on these outcomes, for instance, right now, what's it going to cost us to get a pre-segmented list of 500 people in a specific district that we know are contactable by X amount of issues, right? The price actually adds up pretty substantially once you start buying the data and then you start trying to get all the other data that you need to populate all that in order to make the ask, and then it's a cold call. You're never going to approach the same quality as having somebody who has a personal connection with them. And that goes along with our decentralization plan very, very well. So the idea here would be to get people in the community who can engage for us and prep the ground for our candidates and train. So through things like legislative activism, targeted issue petitions, door knocking campaigns, helping to fill out our data from up on high, right? This is what we need happening in order to maintain ballot access and in order to basically effectuate outcomes. So I'm going to make sure everybody has a copy of this petition, or I'm sorry, this resolution, and has the opportunity to review it before we move forward on it. I'd be happy to answer any questions about this. There's a lot to this proposal that goes beyond the initial networking, but the first thing that we need is the lists being generated and people to manage and call those networks. And we need that happening reliably on the ground every season, no matter what we're arguing about up here. So that would be my proposal for how to do this. There is a package in there to pay for it with commissions largely. So it's not going to cause us to spend a bunch of money in order to get this going. We'll be able to pay for results and value that brings us money. And with that, I'll happily yield to any questions.
Ms. Hayes, and then Mr. Bowler, and then Mr. McGee. Ms. Hayes.
Hello. Hi, Mr. Martin. I know I owed you a phone call. I've just been so busy. So I apologize that this is something I should have talked to you about before, probably. But what does this need to get off the ground in terms of seed money? Do you have an estimate?
It's a great question. So it depends on how quickly you want the program to actually develop. If we gave it $0 and ran it on commissions, right, we would probably have to set the fairly high to make sure that that's worthwhile incentive to do the fundraising and make the calls and actually get out there and do it. And that would be the slowest method because we wouldn't be able to offer some awesome talent, a base pay contract. A better way to do it would be to find somebody who's extremely well qualified and who already kind of has the kinds of training necessary to operate this program in a given area and start contracting them with a modest base pay plus good commissions. We can do this pretty cheap and make it self-funding if we do it right. Does that answer your question? For a dollar amount, if I had to say hey, let's start this as cheap as we can, but still giving a good value for contracts, no more than $5,000 a month should be kind of Really even less than that to start. It would take a couple months to get to where we could justify spending $5,000 a month because we've got to train people. So there is a couple months lead time, and during that time, we'll be training people to get the commissions. So my hope was to kind of winnow down that group of who's giving us proven results and then offer them a better deal in the future as we're getting more money in from this.
Okay, and I know you have you personally have done some of this stuff in Hawaii and had some success with it. Do you have a general idea about how much interest there would be for this type of program with Earning County Commission? And do you have any idea, like, is this something that you sort of have set up in the background and just need it to go ahead, or is this something that we're all sort of need to build together?
That's a really good question. So the model itself is pretty hands off. The idea is we're making operators that can go out into the field and do these things, right? So we're going to be paying them for the results, and they're going to be working with the state parties and basically making sure stuff happens for our state affiliates in the field. We're going to be looking from a national level at where those assets are most useful, and that's where the interlay with the LNC comes from. So there will be some direction, meaning you have options to deploy this as a resource, but it's not going to require your active participation in order to build it. It'll be.
My question was more like, do you know if there's people on the ground currently interested in this type of work? I guess, and I don't even know if that's something you can know, but I'm just wondering.
Interested, yes, there are some people who are interested, but it's hard to gauge because there's a lot of people who say, and so I hope that answers. But
Yeah, thank you.
Mr. Bowler.
Thank you, Mr. Martin, for presenting your proposal. Obviously, being a new at-large member, I haven't had the opportunity to see the proposal, and I'm very interested in getting to see it. I know I'll have some more questions once that happens. And so I think we would all just benefit from, like you even suggested yourself, waiting until the next meeting, and then we can have the discussion then. I don't think it's going to be very productive to have a discussion now and then also then. So I will move to postpone at this time to the next meeting.
I'll second. No problem.
Right, there's a motion to postpone this item to the next meeting. There's a second. Mr. Bowler would like to speak to your motion?
I would
not. We can.
No, we're good. Move.
Okay.
We're
Any
at time,
discussion on this?
Mr. Chairman, we're at time.
All right, and we are at time, so perfect timing. That means we'll proceed directly to a vote on the Bowler motion. Unless there's a motion to extend time, there will be no discussion. So all in favor of postponing to the next meeting, raise your hand. It looks like we have 12 hands. All opposed? None opposed, so it is unanimous. We'll be postponing to the next meeting. Next up is the Convention Oversight Committee report / update. Mr. Ford, you have 15 minutes. Go ahead, sir.
And that's all I got. You'll all be gratified to know that's all I got before my next flight. First off, let me address the 2028 convention date. Mr. Dar and I have agreed to table tonight's motion, subject to the board, of course. We've had a number of events, a lot of phone calls, and we've gotten responses from folks. I would ask if folks, affiliate chairs have any issues with a move up of the 2028 convention date to a February meeting, that they would contact within the next week or so. It's time to move on. We've had one state, which I won't go into right now, that has a serious logistical and legal issues involved. Other states are working their way through it to find a way around it, but we're looking to come to a conclusion on this. With regard to the 2024 convention, I'm thrilled to note that the LNC2026.com website is up and running. The functionality that's enabled so far is that all 4 hotel rooms are up and you can make reservations on them immediately. We are focusing heavily. One of my key goals, in addition to, as I keep saying, the diversification of the effort so that it's a true team approach for the Convention Oversight Committee, in addition to analyzing the 2028 convention, was what I'll call upgrading our tabling efforts. So when one looks at the schematic that's up on the website, you'll see a literal circling of the convention, which in and of itself was a important tool. We don't want to create a separate room for vendors. Vendors hate that. It doesn't work well. But our 3 tiers of rooms, A, B, and C. I've, including this weekend, I've made 3 trips dedicated to raising awareness and beginning to sell upgraded vending arrangements with what I'll call larger companies. You know, it's frustrating to go to all these different conventions and see these amazing organizations spend thousands of dollars on booths, and they haven't been spending it on us. And people have done wonderful work with the convention. It's just that it's time for us to try and begin to grow our revenue base from the convention. So when you're looking at a $2,295, $2,295 cost for what is considered an A table, that not only includes a premier spot, it includes data sharing with vendors and customers who want to be logged in. Anyone who's gone to a convention or trade show recently realizes that one just scans a tag. It's voluntary. They're not going to get our mailing list unless there's consent from the attendee. Is very important for the metrics of people spending this kind of money. Electricity, for example, is included in the A tier booth. It's not in the B and C. The B and C booths, by the way, are still great locations. The B is at the right-hand ring, if you and directly accessible from the convention floor. The C booth, which are our quote-unquote value booths, are right outside all the facilities for our breakout sessions. So folks looking for a solution to vend and to demonstrate at our convention will be given a number of choices that they can use to fit their budget. So we've got about a total of 85 spaces. When you go to the site now, you'll see something called a crypto corner. Right now that space is blacked out. I'm in conversations with 2 different groups about sponsoring a live space compatible crypto corner where you'll have 4 or 5 crypto companies in one area and also a hardwired direct connect to the internet, if you will, mini stage where people will be able to hold X spaces, live streams, all of that. So we're making a direct appeal. I experimented this weekend with talking to potential sponsors at the Ron Paul event because they had tabling there. And so we're making a direct appeal to crypto. By the way, no pride of ownership of any of these ideas. If you want to call me and go over any of these, I'm happy to. Also enabled, obviously, are in addition to the hotel rooms. Excuse me, I'm just in a tricky spot. But so we got the main 2 areas right now. Now, next stage up, we're tackling packages. We expect that to have up in the coming weeks, and that'll be consistent with last year's time frame of getting packages up during September. Actively engaged in recruiting speakers now. It's interesting, the passage of the summertime now, people realize they're proximate to it. I was able to meet with 2 sitting members of Congress this weekend to talk about different overlap. One of them, Congressman Amash, who seems to be very excited about participating. So it's time for folks to start getting excited about the convention. A couple of things we're going to do briefly to begin to market. In 2 weeks, we've technically landed on a Fridays. For anyone who knows, a few years back, we used to do a candidates corner every Friday night. It was very successful. Kind of ran its course after about 3 years. We'd have anywhere from 400 or 500 views to, in a handful of cases, over 20,000 views of different candidates. We're going to take that same approach with the convention out onto YouTube, and we're going to actually do a weekly promotional spot where we talk about the convention. I'm working hard to cough, but I'm working hard to, in addition to having convention vendors rent space, if you will, to make it attractive for them for other opportunities to get their message out. And that'll be incorporated into this weekly show where we have a vendor, someone who just signed up, we'll have them come on. They'll talk about what they do for 10 or 15 minutes, and then we'll talk about what's new and exciting about the convention. This is going to have to be, going forward now, particularly after Labor Day, hot and heavy marketing. As people have pointed out to me, this is a midterm convention. There is no presidential race to fire up attendees. We've been successful in the past in midterm conventions. Reno, for example, financially was very successful, but we're going to have to innovate. Now, normally I do a executive session. I won't belabor that because of timing. What we're going to be sending to the chair every week, the chair and the vice chair, and as a result, everyone on the committee will have access to it, is a confidential revenue report, which will feature growing in sophistication, but revenue in 3 or 4 areas. They'll see year to date and week to date, how many tables we sold, how many rooms we sold at the 4 hotels, and any other sources of income that are arriving, as well as the developments, any speakers. So the key is to have ongoing transparency so that, and I love how they have to explain the same thing about bins 100 times. Anyhow, we're going to be doing weekly financial reports through the convention starting this week. And we've got the basic format already. We have received revenue. We've had 2 folks graciously, one of them is on this meeting, buy our grand suites. So both of our grand suites are sold out already. And we've got people who have already bought the tabling. In addition, people have reserved rooms. So I just want to make an announcement. We're going to do Brian is out for the next couple of days, but we're going to do a social media blast as well. That'll kick off the convention season, the convention marketing season. But we just want to stress to folks, now's a great time to make your rooms. Now's a great time to look at your business plans and see if it's something you want to do. A major change this year is that all of this is up early, and it's very much a first come, first served situation. We have people, you can go on the site. We'd hope to have it set up so that you could click on the icon. There's a drop-down menu that on a technical level works for right now, where you pick out what you want, which table you want, you drop it down, you pay for it, and guess what? It's locked in. You're seeing visually exactly where you're going to be. And I'm already getting calls from folks who've caught wind of this, and it's motivating people to make their plans now. One of our challenges in the past has been vending tables right up to the last minute. First come, first serve, caveat emptor, the market will prevail. So folks, take some time. Everyone in the world's got my cell phone number. If you have questions or concerns, we've gone over this. A huge thank you, as always, to the staff. Matt Hudson and Iris, and of course, our amazing executive director have spent a lot of time on this, focusing on this, and we will continue to continually upgrade the website. But we need your suggestions. And quite frankly, if you find a glitch or something that we haven't found, despite going over this over and over and over again, please just let us know right away, and we'll be all over it. I yield the floor to any questions, and thank you, Mr. Chair, for your patience with my background noise here.
Not a problem. Thank you very much, Mr. Ford and the committee for all your hard work. Mr. Dar and then Mr. Boss. Mr. Dar.
Thank you, Mr. Ford. I just wanted to highlight, you already said it there, though, that you've already, without this website even being 100% sold out or sent out and all that, you've already sold those suites there and those tables there. So it's already off to a great start. Thank you for the work there.
Thank you, sir.
Mr. Boss.
Yes, I hope this is brief. I reserved, I got my confirmation email. I didn't hear you mention the Hilton Honors app, but should my reservation be appearing there if I use my reservation number? This might be useful to the other members.
Run that by me again. I'm not sure what you mean.
I've made my reservation, but it's not appearing in the app. Would I expect it to at this point?
Let me double check that offline. I'm thinking out loud here.
Pat, I think I can answer that.
Yeah, go ahead, buddy.
I think, Travis, you can actually, because I'm a Hilton Honors member too, if it's not on your app, you can actually call the hotel front desk directly, and they will add your Hilton Honors number to the reservation.
And
yeah, I wasn't aware what app you meant. Yeah, like for example, I reserved very early on, just as a test case, and it appears in my app. So please call Hilton Honors and double check that. You may want to just and let me know, because I'm constantly field testing the response. Additional note, by the way, if folks are reserving more than 10 rooms, and we've had some organizations already buy blocks, there's a process for that that's independent of the normal online reservation. This hotel organization has been very, very helpful in terms of finding ways for us to really minimize what I call the bookkeeping side of it. But when you're reserving more than 10 rooms in a block, you do need to reach out to us, and we'll set up a call with the hotel directly, who has a separate process. For purposes of the board, there is a website that we can monitor hotel sales, but those hotel sales do not include anybody doing a block reservation. So I have to kind of morph together a report on that. Again, folks, it's time for us to make a decision on 28. If you're hearing this for the first time, we've made a lot of phone calls to people. We had a great event twice now in the last few weeks where national leadership got on and talked about our committees, talked about the convention. We'll continue to do that. Just get back to us on this issue because it's decision time. Anyone else have any?
All right. Well, it doesn't look like there's any hands up. So again, Pat, thank you so much. Don't miss your flight, and I really appreciate the work so far.
Thank you, gentlemen and ladies.
All right. So next up is, let's see here. We're skipping over B, legal matters. We've already addressed that. And we'll move on to new business with previous notice. Motion to file candidate support committee vacancy by Mr. Dar. Mr. Dar, you have the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I understand that there is a vacancy for an LNC member on the candidate support committee. When talking to you and the chair of the candidate support committee, I understand that you've already appointed the non-LNC position vacancies that were on there under the direction of the current acting chair of the candidate support committee. So that the remaining vacancy needs to be filled. And I've reached out to a few people, had only one interest so far, but I don't know who all here would be interested, but I'd like to open up nominations at this time to appoint somebody to the candidate support committee.
All right, we'll go ahead and open nominations. Anybody who would like to make a nomination, please raise your hand to be recognized. Mr. Dar?
I nominate Mr. Greg Hirsch.
Mr. Hirsch, do you accept?
I do accept.
Thank you, sir. Are there any further nominations?
I move the nominations be closed.
Point of order. This is a
Motion to close nominations.
I'm sorry, this is a motion to fill a vacancy, correct, Mr. Chair? And appoint. Okay,
Correct.
so
We're currently
is it an
nominations.
election or is it a motion to fill an appointment with a specific person?
We'll be making how many seats are open?
It's just
Mr.
one.
Dar?
So if there was, I was willing to hold it as an election if there was more than one nominee present. I was not trying to shove anyone through and did not want to give the appearance of that. So
Thank you. May I suggest, just so there's no notice issues that could come up on this, maybe we should open a nomination period for next meeting, because I thought this was just a motion to basically fill this with an appointment, and it's nice that we have nominations, but this is also like kind of really quick, and now nominations are closing, and nobody really got a chance to.
Mr. Chair, I retract my motion to close nominations, and I would like to nominate Mr. Watkins.
Mr. Watkins, do you accept the nomination? Is Mr. Watkins here?
Mr. Watkins is not present, Mr. Chair.
So he is not present, so he cannot accept his nomination.
I can ask.
Mr. McMahon, you're recognized. Yeah, if you want to try to get him on quickly. In the meantime, Mr. McMahon, did you have you were seeking to be recognized?
The notice thread on August 7th from Mr. Dar, which was a follow-up question asked about his previous notice from the 5th, I believe. No, earlier than that, from the 4th. asked the question, and he said, for the candidate support committee, this is a position that must be filled by a current member of the LNC as required by the policy manual. The appointment must also be made by the full LNC. I've spoken with a few members, and Greg Hirsch has expressed a willingness to accept a nomination. However, I've not yet had the opportunity to reach the entire committee. Please note that all recent vacancies on this committee will be filled by the chair based on recommendations. But in his original notice on the 4th, I would like to provide notice of a vote to fill a vacancy on the candidate support committee. If we have only one nominee, we can do the vote that night or push to open vote if there are more nominees. So there was plenty of notice given.
Thank you. Cool. I did not realize that was the extent
okay.
of the language. Thank you.
Mr. Boss.
Yes, regarding Mr. Watkins, we are referring to the candidate support committee, correct?
That is correct.
Yes, he wanted to pass on that he declines because he doesn't feel that we are fully supporting PDR.
Thank you, Mr. Boss. All right, nominations are still open, absent a motion to close nominations.
I would renew my motion to close nominations.
There's a motion to close. Is there a second?
Second.
Any objection to closing nominations? All right, hearing none, nominations are now closed. We have one candidate, Mr. Hirsch, so it will be an easy up and down. Mr. Hirsch, did you want to speak without objection from the board as to the your qualifications for the appointment?
I mean, I've certainly ran for office before myself, but me locally and also on the statewide, and that's my main qualification. Of course, I've supported candidates and will. That's the main thing.
All right, thank you very much, Mr. Hirsch. Okay, we will move on to a up or down vote. Well, all in favor, please raise your hand.
My hand's raised. Sorry, I was delayed.
Looks like 11 hands. All opposed?
Mr. Chair, I hate to be a pain.
Sure.
I do.
We need to do roll call.
I do think it needs to be a roll call because it needs to be a recorded vote.
You're
I was
absolutely
actually in the process of setting up the ballot for the roll call, but I think it needs to be a recorded vote because it's an election.
No, you're absolutely correct. That needs to be per the policy manual. So we'll proceed with a roll call or a roll call vote. Yes.
Okay, give me 1 second to finish setting it up.
Sorry about my error with the notice earlier. You're totally right about that. I just looked at it.
Can you guys see me typing inappropriately on the?
Yes, we can.
Yes.
That's accurate. I'm ready to call the vote, Mr. Chair. Mr. Bowler?
Mr. Hirsch. Aye.
Mr. Bost?
Yes.
Mr. Chatterton? Mr. Chatterton? Is Mr. Chatterton? Mr. Wiley, do you want to vote for Mr. Chatterton? Okay. Vice Chair Dar?
Mr. Hirsch?
Mr. Bracco?
I'll vote for Hirsch.
Mr. Ford?
I think he's on his plane now.
Okay. Mr. Weir's not here. Ms. Hayes,
Mr. Hirsch.
Mr. Nebel,
Mr. Hirsch.
Mr. Martin,
I'm in favor of Mr. Hirsch.
Mr. McGee,
I will be casting my vote for the Honorable Mr. Hirsch.
I will also vote for Mr. Hirsch. Mr. Hirsch,
How can I not vote for myself? Vote for me.
Mr. Redpath, or Treasurer Redpath,
Mr. Hirsch.
Mr. Thompson,
Also Mr. Hirsch.
Chair Nikela,
Mr. Hirsch.
Mr. Chatterton,
I'm sorry, I was away. I'll cast my vote for Mr. Hirsch as well.
the votes for Mr. Hirsch are 14 with 0 against, 3 not voting.
Congratulations to Mr. Hurst for your appointment to the Candidate Support Committee.
Thank you.
All right, we'll be moving on to motion to set date for 2028 convention. Mr. Dar.
Having spoken to Mr. Ford, I was trying to put pressure on everybody to get answers to him there. Unfortunately, we don't quite have the information, but we want to do this as soon as possible. So chairs and other executive committees that have input on this, please get back to us ASAP so this decision can be made. But at this time, I'm going to move to postpone this item to the next e-meeting.
I will second that motion.
All right, there's a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Hearing no discussion, is there any objection to postponement? Hearing none, motion is postponed till next meeting. All right, next up is motion to set date and location for next in-person LMC meeting, December 6th through the 7th in Dallas, Texas. Mr. Dar.
Yes, I would like to move for the next in-person LNC meeting to be December 6th through 7th in Dallas, Texas.
Second.
Motion is moved and seconded. Mr. Dar, would you like to speak to your motion?
Chose Dallas, of course. Texas close to my heart, but Dallas is also a cheap location for you all to travel into, and there's plenty of venues that we can choose from. So that is my motion.
And close to our pregnant executive director, Mr. Bost. Mr. Bost, you're muted.
Yes, there was previous discussion of Southern California. Were any preparations made for that, or is that moot? What is the case there?
There was no preparations made. I know it was floated, but there was no action taken.
That's all. Thank you.
Ms. Hayes?
I'm fine with Dallas because it's an easy location. However, I would just like to remind everybody that the last 3 in-person meetings were either on the East Coast or close to the East Coast. And there are some of us, I mean, me on the West Coast, but also Mr. Martin is actually even further west than me. So Dallas, because it's easy, but I do suggest that people next time try to accommodate those of us who get very, very tired when we have to get up on East Coast time.
Mr. Martin, racking up the miles. Mr. Martin.
Yeah, I'll be brief. I grew up in Dallas, so it's kind of an interesting place for me. But think of the opportunity we're missing to hold it in Hawaii. That could be like so fun. There you go.
Is anybody else seeking to be recognized? All right. If not, we will go to a vote. Mr. Secretary, whenever you're prepared.
Is there an objection to this?
Yeah, actually, it's a good question. Is there any objection to holding it in Texas?
I hear
Hearing
no
none.
objection.
Point of personal privilege. Point of personal
Point of
privilege.
personal
Is it 1 hour ahead of California's poll or 2?
No, it's central.
Gosh darn it. All right, whatever.
Yeah. I didn't put it in El Paso, which would have moved it to mountain time for you, because my state has 2 time zones. Yeah.
So what I'm hearing is without objection is what I'm hearing.
Yes, sorry.
Yeah, being at the California State Convention, it really made me appreciate being in the Eastern time zone because waking up was great, but being out late at night really sucked.
Mr.
I
Chair.
can only imagine Hawaii. Yes, Mr. McMahon.
Question I have, is there a threshold for when funds are going to be spent that something is a roll call vote?
It passed without objection. So technically,
Okay.
it was unanimous. So I would just put it down as a unanimous vote.
Okay.
If there was a single objection or an abstention, I would have encouraged a
Well, not unanimous, but without objection,
with correct, without objection, which
because they're not those aren't the same things.
that is true.
Because I object internally over having to go to Texas.
Yes.
It's an easy flight to me, but if we ever do it in Hawaii, my wife and I actually want to come. Not to hang out at meetings though, definitely to enjoy the beauty. All right. Next up, Mr. Dar, I'm going to pass you the gavel because it is my motion to amend the policy manual to move EPCC from 5 to 3 members. That is the motion. Is there a second?
Second.
I'll speak to my motion very briefly. When the decision to go to 5 was made, afterwards I got to speak with Debbie Mason on a few things. She recommended keeping it to a small committee. And now that those 2 positions are vacant, I'd like to return it to 3. So my motion is to return it to 3 as before.
Second.
All right, the motion has been made and seconded. Is anyone wishing to be recognized to speak to it? I'm not seeing any. Is there any? Well, since this is a policy manual, this will need to be a roll call vote. Yes, okay. Not seeing anyone wishing to be recognized. That's
sorry.
I have a question.
Go ahead.
So, yes, the question is, are there 5 members on the committee right now? And if so, how will 2 be deselected from the committee?
Kathy Yanuskavich and Mr. Adrian Malagon were on the committee. They've since resigned, so the committee does have 2 vacancies. And Mr. Boss, Mr. Watkins, and Ms. Coward are the current EPCC members. Thank you.
Point of, I don't know what, Steve, my recollection, and I'm not sure if he's been reappointed, so I'll just ask everyone on the EPCC, but I believe Mr. Watkins had missed the number of meetings that made him an automatic resignation from the committee, so we might have an extra vacancy.
Mr. Chatterton.
Are there records from meetings to document vacancies or the absences sufficient to qualify such a automatic resignation?
I would have to confer with the committee. I don't know.
Yeah, if Ms. Coward or Mr. Boss knows, maybe.
Mr. Boss, I see your hand raised anyways. Would you be able to answer that question?
I don't believe that there is, and we've been considering him a member. I don't think that it's the case. We've kept those records, but if we locate them, we'll let you know.
Thank you, Mr. Boss. Since that's not the item on the table right now, since there's a maximum of 3, possibility of 2, depending on the determination there. There's not an issue with removing anyone. Mr. McGee.
I think certainly the issue of how many meetings have been missed is an issue for a later time. The issue at hand is simply, are we going to reduce the committee back to its original scope of 3 members? And with that, I would like to call the question.
Yes, my apologies.
I see. Okay, thank you. The question has been called. Is there any opposition to calling question? Not seeing any opposition, we'll move to the vote on the question. Mr. McMahon.
Mr. Bowler.
Aye.
Mr. Bost.
Yes.
Mr. Chatterton,
Yes.
Mr. Dar,
Pass.
Mr. Bracco,
Yes.
Mr. Ford. Sorry, I'm going to change him to not here. Sorry. Miss Hayes,
Yes.
Mr. Nebel,
Yes.
Mr. Martin,
Yes, I'm in favor.
Mr. McGee.
Yes.
Secretary votes yes. Mr. Hirsch,
Yes.
Treasurer Redpath,
Yes.
Mr. Thompson,
Yes.
Mr. Nicola, Chair Nicola.
Yes.
The votes are 13, or I'm sorry, Mr. Dar, you passed.
I passed. Normally I'd abstain, but since it's already unanimous, I'll vote yes.
Mr. Chair, the votes are 14 yeas, 0 no, 0 pass, 0 abstentions.
Motion passes. Thank you. Handing back over the gavel then.
Well, actually, not so fast, Mr. Dar. It
Yeah,
looks like I'm
point
up
of
to the
order.
plate again.
Yeah, point of order. Actually,
What's the point of order, Mr. McGee?
you need to keep the gavel.
All right. I will keep the gavel then. Next item of business. Okay. I see, because Mr. Nicola is making the next motion. Motion to appoint T. Cowart to FSC. Chair Nicola.
I have an point of inquiry here. And that is, who is on the FSC right now besides me?
Currently, nobody.
Okay, that's what I thought.
There's 2 vacancies.
That's what I thought. Thank you.
I move to appoint Ms. Cowart to the FSC. I think she's going to do an amazing job. She has high financial aptitude, and I trust her to serve on that committee.
Second.
Second.
Motion has been made and seconded. Do you wish to speak further to your motion, Mr. Nicola?
No, I just want to say that we have 2 open positions. Ms. Cowart's been very helpful with the finances on the COC, and I think she would be a boon to have on the FSC.
Mr. Chatterton.
Nothing personally against Ms. Cowart. I would raise, though, as mentioned, that I think earlier it was brought up that she's also currently a member of the EPCC. And with the recent policy manual amendments that have been made, those 2 committees hold an immense amount of power in the party. I think it would be wise for us to consider different membership on the committee that is exclusive between the 2, particularly between the EPCC and FSC. So I think it would be wise for us to leave this vacancy and consider further the role of the FSC and the people to fill those vacancies.
Thank you, Mr. Chatterton. Mr. Martin?
Yeah, I share some concerns about too much power. I think those committees were kind of consolidate a lot of power while some of our recently departed members were kind of running things. And I think having anybody overlapping on those committees effectively gives them the power of like a board member, doesn't it? Like that's pretty huge. She seems great. Don't get me wrong. Sorry, Jesse, nothing against you. But that is a lot of power to aggregate on people who aren't accountable to the electorate field.
Thank you, Mr. Brunton. I previously saw the hand of Mr. Boss up. Was that an artifact or did it drop on accident?
It's moot, or it's been covered.
All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Boss. Mr. Thompson. unmute yourself, Mr. Thompson, if you're trying to speak.
I was trying to speak. Sorry. Move to amend the motion to include Mr. Nebel as well.
Amendment has been made.
I'll second that.
Okay, I hear a second. That was from Mr. McGee, was it?
That is correct.
And does Mr. Nebel accept?
Yes, I do.
Okay, thank you.
Mr. Thompson.
So the motion
Mr.
is
Chair,
now.
Was that motion made by Mr. Thompson?
It was.
Thank you.
That's correct. So now the amendment is to add on Mr. Nebel there. Is anyone wishing to be recognized for that? I see. Is Mr. McGee, was it on the previous?
Mr. McGee still has his hand up.
Still has his hand up. Okay, go ahead.
All right. Aloha. So I would, Mr. Chair or Mr. Vice Chair, or I guess Mr. Chair, for the moment, I would hesitate to describe any of the members of this LNC as recently departed. That's a little bit macabre, but anyways, more to the point, I believe that both Ms. Coward and Mr. Nebel are eminently qualified for these positions, and I have full confidence that they will do the best job that can be done given the circumstances. That's all I have to say.
Thank you, Mr. McGee. Mr. Martin.
Yeah. Okay. So there's definitely like a little bit concerned about the notice here. You know, this is an appointment. I mean, it probably is germane, and I wouldn't have the votes anyway to overturn it. But goodness, like I thought we weren't trying to rush and ram people into the committees. And again, this is a very powerful committee that, I mean, frankly, all the people who have benefited the most from recent events are all basically seem to be cashing in now with positions of power in the party. And I'll just be honest, I'm not comfortable with it. I feel like there's a lot of mileage that has been gotten out of defective legal advice that we got a year ago, and we're still trying to carry water with it today, and it's just kind of ridiculous. In my opinion, there's a huge controversy that kind of belies all of this, and it's making these decisions extremely political, and there's a huge power struggle. In my opinion, it's been a total subversion of the will of the delegates since convention. I mean, since convention, this has been a absolute political hit job. And we have the people who are the architects of this basically seizing the wheels of power in these small committees, and here on the LNC too. And I'm not seeing much evidence that this is a good, like, hey guys, let's work together and get the work done. I want to see like direction, and this is not it. And so I'm very frustrated with that. If we're going to do nominations and whatnot for one but not the other, it's pretty obvious what's going on here.
Mr. Secretary.
Well, I don't share the same reasonings as Mr. Martin. I also don't support this amendment. It's nothing against Mr. Nebel. It's more of, this is your first meeting on the LNC. This is an important committee. I think the rest of the committee should probably get to know you a little bit better. If I was being asked to serve in this position, I would probably decline, as this is only my second meeting. But I would feel very confident in that position, but would decline. So I don't know that it's appropriate at this time. I think maybe we should hold off on filling that extra seat. But I do believe that it is this board's duty from convention to convention to fill vacancies and to put people on boards. And there was notice. I just disagree with this particular amendment to this particular motion. I do support the main motion, but I think let's give Mr. Nebel a little bit more time. So that I yield. Thank you.
Thank you. Not seeing anyone further that wishes to be recognized for the amendment here. So we will vote on the amendment itself. I don't think the amendment needs to be a roll call, we can do that by a show of hands here. So if you can please use react button for those in favor of the amendment, please raise your hands at this time.
Just for clarification, this is adding Doug Kniebel.
That is correct. The amendment is adding Doug Kniebel.
Thank you.
So I am seeing 7 favor. All right, please. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I believe it topped out at 7.
Yeah, it topped out at 7. All right, please lower hands at this time. Those not in favor of the motion, please raise your hands at this time. Opposition. Gonna give it a moment. All right, I see 7 opposing. Go ahead and lower your hands.
I think it was 6.
Excuse me, 6. Thank you, Mr. Chair, for correcting my counting.
Oh, roll call vote. Divide the question. Or sorry, not divide the question, division. Right? That's what you call it.
Division.
He's calling for a roll call vote.
He's calling for a roll call vote. So you wanted to go on the. All right, calling for a roll call.
It's okay if everybody else is satisfied.
No,
I just,
no. Mr. Martin has a right to call for a roll call vote. It's in order.
You have a right to. Is there any opposition to doing a roll call vote? Not hearing an opposition, we'll move to a roll call vote. Do it over as a roll call. Yes, I'm going to make the secretary work. Sorry.
Can I inject now?
Sorry, man.
Okay, hold on.
Evan, maybe I could save you the work if I just say I'll withdraw if there's not a second. Is there a second to this?
Mr. Martin, it's completely within order. It just is me taking a couple of seconds to type something out. I don't really have an issue with that. I was just kidding.
I really don't mean to slow us down. Sorry about that.
How dare you, sir? And the original motion was made by Mr. Thompson, correct? Or the motion to amend was made by Mr. Thompson.
Yes,
Correct.
Maybe.
Also, I was a little hasty in taking my hand down. So when it went from 7 votes to 6 votes, that was just me in a hurry to put my hand back down.
Sounds like this is in order.
We will have a nice official count on the screen in a minute anyways.
My lovely boyfriend was bringing me dinner and he was calling saying he needed to be let in. So I'm terribly sorry for the delay. Let me share my screen. Is everybody seeing this correct? Motion to amend to add Douglas made motion. Okay. Mr. Bowler.
I'm sure it'll be great, Mr. Neville, but at this time it's no until I get to know you better.
Mr. Bost.
No.
Mr. Chatterton.
No.
Mr. Dar.
Abstain.
We'll put that there. Mr. Bracco.
No.
Mr. Ford is not here. Miss Hayes.
Yes.
Mr. Neville.
Yes.
Mr. Martin.
No offense, Mr. Neville, but no.
Mr. McGee.
Aye.
I'm going to vote no at this time. Mr. Hirsch,
Yes.
Mr. Redpath,
Yes.
Mr. Thompson,
Yes.
Mr. or Chairman Nikala.
Yes.
The recorded vote is 7 yes, 6 no, and 1 abstention.
Thank you very much, Mr. Secretary. The amendment passes. Now we're on to the main motion. And the main motion also needs a roll call vote, so
Give me one. That one I'm ready for. I just need to get this typed out
you
first.
can start prepping it while we're taking further. I see Mr. Bowler's hand raised.
Yes. I heard the argument earlier about the concentration of power with these two committees being especially powerful. That being said, I think that the LNC does have oversight of these committees, and we can always make a policy manual amendment in the future to prohibit dual membership of these committees. I think it's important at this time to fill these subcommittees when we can, and it seems that Ms. Cower is a good fit for this, so that's all I want to speak to.
Thank you, Mr. Bowler. Mr. Thompson?
We're at time for this item.
All right, we're at time for this item. Then we'll move immediately to the vote. Mr. Secretary, probably trying to eat some food amidst the meeting.
I think this is a conflict transaction. I don't think we should be doing this. I think it is an actual conflict for a member to serve on both committees, and I think that was
Point of
mentioned.
order, is the member recognized?
No, and please come to order. Thank you. All right, we are on to the vote.
And I'm sharing my screen. Move to appoint Jesse Cowart and Douglas Nebel to Financial Services Committee. Mr. Bowler.
Aye.
Mr. Bost.
This is for both people?
Yes.
No.
Mr. Chatterton.
No.
Vice Chair Dar.
Pass.
Mr. Bracco.
Nay.
Ms. Hayes.
Aye, caramba.
Mr. Nebel.
Yes.
Mr. Martin.
No.
Mr. McGee.
Aye.
I vote yes. Mr. Hirsch.
Yes.
Treasurer Redpath.
Yes.
Mr. Thompson.
Yes.
Mr. Chair Nikala.
I'll vote aye.
Vice Chair Dar.
I abstain.
Okay. Mr. Chair, the vote is 9 yes, 4 no's, and 1 abstention.
All right, the motion passes.
All right, well, thank you very much, Mr. Dar, for putting the reps in. Now we're going to turn the tables around, and I'm going to recognize you for a motion to fill second alternate vacancy on Bylaws and Rules Committee. You have the floor, sir.
All right. So those that don't know, I'm the chair of the Bylaws and Rules Committee. We currently have a vacancy for second alternate. With the previous resignation, the rules in place pretty much just shifted everybody up as far as that goes. So this is vacancy for second alternate. And I've received 2 people that have had interest, and I would like to move. I would like to do this in an election format, kind of like I did before, since I have multiple people in this case. So I'd like to move to open nominations to fill this vacancy.
Go ahead, sir. With your nominations.
All right, I have 2 nominations to start out with. I have Marion Kaufman from Oregon. And then I also have Tyler Donkey from Wisconsin. Probably mispronouncing that once again, but Tyler and Marion.
And
Thank you.
thank you. And
Thank you.
Miriam, is Miriam here? Do you accept Ms.
Mary
Kaufman?
Mr. Kaufman.
Oh, Mr. I'm sorry, I heard Marianne. Marion. And do you accept Mr. Kaufman?
It's Miss and it's Marion, and yes, I do accept.
I am an idiot.
Now
I am sorry.
Now I'm more
Thank
confused.
you. I had
Thank
a
you,
whole
ma'am.
email exchange and I didn't know. I assumed genders and was wrong.
How dare you, sir?
Yes.
This is 2025.
Yes.
So sorry. Point of
I
information.
guess
Are
I'm
we
canceled
filling?
for that now.
Oh, I'm sorry. Are we filling 1 or 2 spots? Sorry.
It'll be for 1 spot.
Oh, okay.
And Mr. Dinky, do you accept?
I do, yes. Thank you.
And I assumed your gender. Mr. Boss, you're recognized. Mr. Boston.
Would like to nominate Mr. Bracco. He has or can I speak to it now or do we speak to it later?
I would leave it to nominations for now, and we'll do candidate speeches. Mr. Bracco, do you accept?
I do.
All right. Are there any further nominations? Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion to close nominations.
Mr. Chair, I move to close nominations.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any objection to closing nominations at this time? Hearing none, nominations are now closed. Without objection from the body, I'd like to proceed into giving each candidate 3 minutes to speak. And at the very end, we can ask questions until we run out of time on this item, which actually, now that I think about it, we only have 10 minutes on this item. So actually, I'm going to entertain a formal motion to recognize each candidate for 3 minutes each, and then go into Q&A at the end. Is
Second.
Is there such? There's a
Or
motion. Okay,
I'll move it.
you'll make that. Okay. Is there a second?
Is there a time limit on the Q&A?
Not in this motion.
Okay.
Is there a second?
I second him.
Any objection to that format?
Yes, I do object without a time limit on the Q&A.
All right, the motion is open to discussion.
Mr. Chair, I move to amend to give a time limit on the Q&A of 10 minutes.
There's a motion. Is there a second?
I'll second that. Yep.
Any discussion on that? Any objection? Hearing none, the amendment passes. We're on the main motion. Is there any discussion on the main motion? Any objection? All right, hearing none, we will proceed. We'll go first by order received. Mr. Kaufman, Ms. Kaufman, I apologize. You have 3 minutes. Whenever you're ready.
Thank you. I am a fairly new member to the party. I've been Libertarian for maybe 5 years or so. So like you said, I'm from Oregon. My educational background is in music theory. And I'm serving my 2nd term on the LP Oregon Public Policy Board. I've previously served on the LP Oregon Bylaws Committee. I co-wrote the founding set of bylaws for the Multnomah County Libertarians. My other bylaws experience, I was on the Mises Caucus bylaws team in the run-up to the 2022 Reno Convention. And I've written bylaws for my local county community planning organization, which is Oregon's mechanism for representation of unincorporated communities. I'm also serving on a Clackamas County Committee for Community Involvement, which sort of manages the relationship between the unincorporated communities and the county government. And we discuss a lot of issues involving land use rules and county codes, things like that. And I'm also a member of the Sunrise Corridor Community Visioning Project Leadership Cohort, which is sort of helping to bring community voices into and private partnerships into a huge transportation project going on in my area. I'm also a notary public. I enjoy studying bylaws. I like discussing bylaws. I'm a nerd like that. I have particular interest in how they are compatible with operational limitations, because I know that my state is currently hamstrung in a big way by their bylaws. And I am a huge proponent of making rules understandable to your average member and people who aren't interested in bylaws, because that's really the only way they're going to be useful. And I think that's it. Thanks so much.
Thank you, Ms. Kaufman.
Yes.
Next up is Mr. Dinky.
If I might, may I please go last?
Okay. All right, next up in that case is Mr. Bracco.
All right. I've been the chair of the local bylaws committee, basically the only member, for the last couple of years. I chaired the Libertarian Party of Virginia Constitution Committee, which is basically the same thing, last term, and I was also on the National Bylaws Committee last term. To be honest, I was a little pessimistic about the chances of anything getting 2/3 support at the next convention. I kind of still am, but I kind of want to do my best to help bridge whatever gaps there might be and hopefully improve the bylaws a little bit. And I'll yield the rest of my time.
Thank you, Mr. Bracco. Next up is Mr. Dinky.
All right, so I have been a lifetime member and have attended consecutive. I was not in Orlando, but I was a virtual delegate since 2018. I am a lifetime member of the Libertarian Party. I have served on the bylaws committee of the Libertarian Party Radical Caucus. I have drafted, I've been a leading part of drafting bylaws for 4 local affiliates here in Wisconsin. I have served on several Libertarian Party Wisconsin bylaws committees, and I am very passionate about bylaws. I've also served on the Wisconsin Association of Parliamentarians bylaws committee for 3 terms, including full rewrites, both in Wisconsin LP and in the Wisconsin Association of Parliamentarians. Very passionate about bylaws. I also operated my own company for 16 years with a constitution called Holacracy, Evolving Humanity's Relationship to Power. So I operated my own company with using that Holacracy constitution, and I look forward to evolving humanity's relationship to power through the Libertarian Party's bylaws. And that's what I have.
All right, thank you to each candidate for taking time to speak. And we'll now move on to question and answer with the committee. And I will now be recognizing members at this time. Ms. Hayes, then Mr. Martin.
I'm the worst person with bylaws ever, so this might be a dumb question, but I figured I'll ask it to give you guys time to flex. Do any of you have a particular bylaw you're interested in either writing or seeing rewritten at the national level? And I'll give that to everybody.
Let's see, we can go in order received. So Ms. Kaufman.
That's an excellent question, and I'm not prepared to answer it. But I think I'll kind of harken back to what I said before, which is anything that causes simplification or removes a roadblock for getting business done is something I would be in favor of.
Simplification is a great answer.
Next, we'll hear from Mr. Danke.
So again, also not fully prepared for that answer, but one that I hope to develop over the next decade of my involvement in the party would be sustaining members being able to vote on presidential nominations. That's the best I have for an answer for now.
Thank you. Next, we'll hear from Mr. Bracco.
Sure. So I had a couple of proposals that made it into the report last term, and I'd still want to support those, specifically the restructuring of the LNC to be, what was it? Forget the voting procedure, but it was all at large, and it was like representative, intention to be representative. Raising the membership dues to $50 a year. It's been like 2 decades at least since that was raised. And the last one was changing the delegate allocation formulas such that it would be entirely based on sustaining membership rather than a combination of sustaining membership and the presidential election, because ballot access laws suck and some states suck more than others. And I don't want to punish those states.
For fairness, I will not be taking questions from the candidates at this time, only members of the board. So Mr. Martin, you're next.
Aloha.
Could I take 1 second? Sorry.
No worries. My question to the candidates would be, could you give me an example of the biggest bylaw problem that you've ever dealt with and how you dealt with it, if you have experience with that?
Ms. Kaufman will go to you.
Yes, absolutely. It has not been dealt with, but I am currently dealing with it every time Oregon gets together for a state convention. Our membership requirement is for you to register as a Libertarian in the state of Oregon. So, and then there is also a quorum requirement for our conventions, and we have not been able to hit quorum for the past couple of conventions. So that is quite a big problem.
We'll now hear from Mr. Danke.
So I have been intimately involved with the biggest pain point that I've recently dealt with was having the removal of a chair, and also, like, should we have, do we need to have a special convention already? That's been the biggest challenge, that, and also with the not just the removal of a chair, but also special conventions and just all of the politics regarding that. And how have I dealt with that? I served on the bylaws committee when the bylaws committee was the group that had to consider whether to remove a chair or not, and just all of the politics that goes with that. That's been my experience.
Thank you. And Mr. Bracco?
Sure. Apologies for that. Back in September of 2022, the former chair of the Libertarian Party of Virginia pretty much unilaterally declared it dissolved, which was a clear violation of the Constitution and the bylaws. So me and a couple of other folks organized a special convention, or a general convention, to petition the members to basically amend the Constitution, which is the superior document here in the LPVA. And I wrote all the proposals for that, and we ended up amending it successfully, got that chair voted out, and got back on a solid footing.
Mr. Thompson?
Yes. How long have you been a Libertarian Party member, and in what capacities have you served the party?
We'll go with Ms. Kaufman first.
I think it was 2020 or 2021 when I first registered to vote as a Libertarian, and I became a lifetime member at the 2022 convention in Reno. I've served on the public policy board for my state affiliate. This is my second term. And I've been on their bylaws committee before and their convention committee before. And I helped to organize the Multnomah County Libertarians. I no longer live in Multnomah County, so that's running along really well. I think that might be the extent of it.
Thank you. Next, we'll hear from Mr. Danke.
So I started attending events in 2016, was appointed to the Libertarian Party of Wisconsin Executive Committee in January of 2017, became the Secretary of the Libertarian Party of Wisconsin. I've served a term as the Vice Chair of the Libertarian Party of Wisconsin. I've served probably five of the last 8 conventions. I'm not sure on the exact number. I believe it's 5 as the parliamentarian to the chair for state conventions. Been a lifetime member since 2021. I helped draft the bylaws for the Wapaka County Libertarians, the Fox Valley Libertarians, and the Central Wisconsin Libertarians, which at the time was called Libertarian Party of Portage County. And I am very active with the Central Badgerland Libertarians, the Fox Valley Libertarians, and the Wapaka County Libertarians today. And I've also served on both the Bylaws Committee and Platform Committee during most of the years between 2017 and present. And yeah, that's what I have. I also served as teller in DC 2 years ago.
Thank you, Mr. Danke. And we'll go to Mr. Bracco.
So I believe I first paid dues in 2013, didn't become active until 2019. I've been a local treasurer for a term. I've been a state vice chair, led a state level bylaws committee, member of the national bylaws committee in the past, and lifetime member since 2022, I believe.
All right, and next we'll go to Mr. Chatterton.
I had a question for Mr. Danke. You brought up the example about being on your bylaws committee and participating in removal of your state chair. Did that committee have the authority to permanently remove your state chair until the end of the term?
The authority granted, the authority granted there was to temporarily suspend, and that is the action that we took. And as far as it going from there, that was not the past that. It was not the purview of the bylaws committee. It was the action taken by the bylaws committee was to temporarily suspend.
Mr. Dar.
Mr. Chair, we're out of time.
We are out of time, which means we'll be going to a vote. So Mr. Secretary, please prepare. I suppose we can do it. There's only one position open. So we'll do it. Everybody gets one vote. And I believe this would need. Is the default to majority or first past the post?
We also need NOTA.
Yeah, so I believe majority is the default. So what we would do is if no candidate gets a majority, we would just knock off a candidate until one eventually does. And that's how we'll proceed under the default runner rules.
I just realized I was talking to you with my mic off.
I was doing
That's
some
what I
research in
was
the background.
saying was that I believed it required a majority and that it would move to subsequent rounds with the lowest vote getter being knocked off each round.
That's exactly what I was thinking. You're a mind reader.
Mr. Bowler.
Mr. Bracco.
I don't see it.
Mr. Boss.
Bracco.
Mr. Chatterton.
Mr. Bracco.
Mr. Dar.
Gonna pass.
Mr. Bracco.
I'll vote for myself and Miss Kaufman.
Are we allowing that, Mr. Chair? Or is it vote for one?
Is it? I'm sorry.
It's not approval voting.
It is not.
It is not.
I'll vote for Miss Kaufman then.
Miss Hayes.
Because I love simplicity, I am voting for Miss Kaufman.
I'm sorry, you cut out too quickly, Miss Hayes.
Oh, Miss Kaufman.
Thank you. Mr. Niebel.
Mr. Bracco.
Mr. Martin.
I'll pass for now.
Mr. McGee.
Mr. Bracco.
Mr. Denke. Mr. Hirsch.
Mr. Danke.
Treasurer Redpath.
Danke.
Mr. Thompson.
Danke as well.
Chair Nikela.
I will abstain.
Vice Chair Dar.
I will also abstain this round.
Mr. Martin. Martin.
Gracious. As Mr. Dar hasn't voted. I mean,
he abstained.
Oh, right on. Cool. Yeah. I like everybody, and thank you everybody for being in this race. Mr. Bracco, I think I want to vote for you, but I wanted to raise the question: do we need to get 50% in order to pass the threshold for this vote?
50%.
That is correct.
It's a majority.
Okay, I'll go ahead and throw my vote for Kaufman.
Okay, Mr. Chair, the votes are 3 votes for Ms. Kaufman, 4 votes for Mr. Danke, 5 votes for Mr. Bracco, and 2 abstentions.
All right, Ms. Hoffman is the lowest vote. She will be eliminated from this round. We'll begin with a new ballot and vote for and proceed with a new vote.
Okay. I think I'm ready. Mr. Bowler.
Mr. Bracco.
Mr. Bost.
Mr. Bracco.
Mr. Chatterton.
Mr. Bracco.
Vice Chair Dar.
I'll pass.
Mr. Bracco.
I'll vote for myself.
Ms. Hayes.
Oh God, pass. They're both great. I don't.
Mr. Nebel.
Mr. Bracco.
Mr. Martin.
Pass.
Mr. McGee.
Pass.
I will vote for Mr. Denke. Mr. Hirsch.
Mr. Danke.
Treasurer Redpath.
Danke.
Mr. Thompson.
Thank you.
Chair Nikela.
Abstain.
Vice Chair Dar.
All right, I guess I'll have to vote on this one, Mr. Danke.
Ms. Hayes.
Mr. Bracco.
Mr. Martin.
Mr. Bracco.
Mr. McGee.
Mr. Bracco.
Mr. Chair, the vote total is 5 for Mr. Denke, 8 for Mr. Bracco, with 1 abstention.
Congratulations to Mr. Bracco for the appointment to the alternate, what is the second alternate bylaw position? Thank you very much for your service, and thank you to all candidates for stepping up. All right, next up on the agenda is announcements. 10 minutes. Is there anybody who would like to be recognized to make an announcement? Going once, going twice, going 3 times. If not, the chair will now. Mr. Martin, was that an announcement?
Mr. Chatterton as well.
I'm sorry?
I also
Mr.
have one as
Chatterton.
well.
He can go first.
Would it be appropriate to request an update for my conflicts of interest that I'm no longer the chair of the Party of Michigan?
Sure.
Can you please send to the secretary in writing, Mr. Chatterton?
Yeah, certainly.
Mr. Martin?
Yes, I would like to announce that I love you all very much, and I'm excited for the next meeting.
Thank you, Mr. Martin. And lovely weather over there in Hawaii. It's very rainy and dark here on the East Coast. Mr. Boss.
Rainy.
What is what's on the agenda after this? Anything?
Adjourn.
Okay. No further comments.
All right.
I move to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn is any objection to adjournment? Hearing none, I'm going to call this meeting to a close at 10:15 Eastern Time. Have a great night, everybody.
Thank you.
Have a good night, everybody.